Hello, my name is Laura Bogra and I'm here today to share with you one of my favorite drinks. But the most important part of this is you should also know that this is one of the best remedies for a hangover, which people don't have a cure for. There's no medicine out there, but this will surely help a lot. So just try it at home, follow the ingredients, follow the steps, and it's very simple to make besides the fact that it's delicious. It's a very refreshing drink. Now, the name comes from a Latin American descent. It's a Latin American or Spanish origin. The name comes from Michelada, which stands for chela means blonde, and what they do is they use any type of light beer that will automatically add the light color and then let the other things blend in. Now, my chela helada meaning cold. In other words, you can say, bring me my cold beer, bring me my michelada. So that's where the name comes from, and it's stuck to it. We're going to start by showing you the ingredients, which are very simple. These are things that we usually have around the house. Lime or lemon. In this case today, I'm using lemon, which is the one I prefer to use. You can use ice cubes or crushed ice, whatever is best. Crushed ice tastes delicious. It just takes a little bit longer, but it's perfect too. Lea and Perrin sauce, which is perfect to give it a special touch to the flavor. It adds that little sweetness to it. We also need tomato juice, which is very important. This is a must. Some people use it without tomato, but I'm going to show you how to do it with tomato today. Now, vinegar is something that is very hard to get here, especially this type of vinegar. The United States, we tend to have vinegar that doesn't have any type of spices added into it. This is a Latin type of vinegar, which is already spiced. It already has condiments in it. So it gives it a little extra salty touch to the whole flavor. We must also remember that it's very important to add some hot type of sauce. It doesn't have to be spicy, but it can be a sauce that gives it an extra flavor. This would be the brand that we usually use because of the fact that it's not extremely hot, and it's something that most people tolerate. Now, you should always remember to ask the person that's going to take it if they are allergic to any type of hot sauces. Because if they are, we can leave this ingredient out and it'll still taste delicious. Remember, salt and pepper are very important for this also. They give it an extra touch. But we need to use the coarse salt to begin with. This is the same one we use for margaritas, as I had explained. And it's special to put around the rim of the cup, the glass, or the beer mug that we're going to use. In order for it to stick, what we do is we start by putting the lemon or lime around the rim of the cup. That way it'll be easier for it to stick. Once we've done this, we just tip the cup over, turn it over, put it into the salt, and the salt is already in one of our round containers so it doesn't spill. And as you can see, it's already stuck to the cup. It looks pretty, and it adds a really good flavor to it every time you take it to your mouth. So once we've done this, we're going to move the salt away from here. The best way to cut your lemon or lime is actually in 4 parts, because this way we get better angles for it to come out. So we're going to start by pouring some ice into the cup. You can use, like I told you before, some crushed ice, or simply go ahead and use your ice cubes, okay? Now, we need a tall glass because we need to put a lot of ice in it. The reason for this is because these sauces aren't usually cold. So when we mix everything together, it takes the chela helada away from it, so that way it's not too cold. That's why we need a lot of ice for this drink. Once we put the ice in the cup, I'm going to teach you how to blend it in a separate cup, because when we do it into this, we don't tend to feel the flavor. So this way we can still taste it and see if it's perfect before we add it to our beer. Now we're going to start by squeezing some lemon juice into the cup. Half or a whole lemon will do. And try to keep your hands here so that way it doesn't go into your face like you just saw it almost did a little while ago. You continue to squeeze some more lemon. Has to have enough because the tomato juice is kind of sweet, and this will end up leveling the flavor out. Once we've done this, you need a napkin aside because of the lemon getting stuck to your hands. It changes the flavor on the rest of the thing. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to get it around our cup either. So we have to be very careful with that. We need to add some pepper. All of this is to your taste. So you can be tasting it and saying, this is what I like a little bit more of that, and it comes out to be actually perfect to your taste. So I'm going to add some pepper into it. I actually like a lot, but I'm not going to go too hard on it today. And we're going to do some pepper. I don't know if you can see it through there right now, but we added some right there. Vinegar, as I told you, going back to it, it's the vinegar that already has spices added to it. And the easiest way to measure it is go in here. Actually, if we fill this cup up, we'll end up making like 3 or 4 micheladas. So we add 1 little cup of vinegar. One of these the top will actually be a measurement cup for you. So you fill it up. I actually filled that one half, so we're going to go with a second one. And we add that in. Put this aside so we don't get mixed up and end up adding the same things twice. We're going to add some tomato juice. This is what it mostly has, okay? And I say mostly because I mean the quantity, but the lemon juice actually ends up adding up for this, so it levels it out. So we add some tomato or clamato juice into it. Some people just like the plain clam juice also. You can also do it without the tomato juice. Then we're going to add plenty, and I mean plenty of salt to it. Once we've added enough salt, we have to add the hot sauce. The hot sauce is just a few drops. We don't need too much of this because some people don't actually like it too hot. So we're going to go soft. You can actually count the drops. This one has like a dropper, so it's a lot easier than pouring a whole bunch of hot sauce into it. Okay, so I did 3 little squeezes into that, and that'll should give it the touch without giving it too much spice. Now, we need a spoon next to it, and we're going to mix this. Once we've mixed this, we end up seeing the color. Okay, so the color went a little bit, just a tad lighter. Once we've done this, we are going to add some Lea & Perrins sauce. This is also just a few drops because if we overdo this, it tends to give like a aftertaste to what the cocktail is. So we're just going to add a little bit of it, just a few drops. So we're done with this. We put this one aside too, and we mix it again. Now, the reason why I add the Lea & Perrins last is because if it's too dark, you will know it's not good enough. Now this should do it. Once we have this juice really mixed up and you put in enough salt, you can go ahead and taste it and see if it's exactly the way you like it. Perfect. Now we just go ahead and pour a little bit of the lemon. As I told you before, we need to cut another little slice into this and be able to add it on top of the ice. Since the ice comes straight from the freezer, the lemon tends to stick to it. And what it does is it spreads the lemony flavor throughout the whole cup. So it's a lot easier to blend in with the rest of the drink. Now we're going to start by adding a little bit to the bottom. That way we have it all over the drink. And once we put in, some people like a lot of this, some people just like a little bit. I like it a lot. So what we're going to do now is grab the beer and put some of this. Remember to tilt the beer. Those of you who are beer drinkers should know already that it tends to foam up if we don't tilt the beer, okay? So we're going to start by tilting the beer so we don't foam it up too much, and that way it just tastes better. So here we go, slowly. You can see the beer is blending in with the whole juice, and it's giving it that cute color already. So there we go. Don't fill it up to the top because it doesn't look too pretty. And now we're going to end up adding a little bit more of our mixed or prepared sauce. A few spoonfuls. I already have probably some people there drooling to taste this. So go ahead, make it at home, give it a try. Trust me, one of the best drinks and takes care of hangovers. Just remember, don't drink and drive.